may recall, probably pushing a year ago or so, we did a video on these little crescent moon faces. Did a bunch of different styles and textures and whatnot on these. And in that video, I talked about, showed really briefly, the possibility of doing a little Santa Claus moon. Sleeping Santa moon. And it's time. It's time to do it. So this week I've been farting around and came up with a whole variety pack of these Santa Claus moons. And that's our project for today. Now, I have these cutouts already cut out. So I'm going to recycle that little bit of that video where I talk about how we go about getting to this shape. So here you go. This piece is about 5 inches tall and about 2.5 wide, okay? Now, that's irrelevant because if yours isn't the same size, that's fine. But here I went ahead and drew my circle on here. I used a compass on this one. But whatever you got a quart paint can or a coffee can, just draw your circle. And if it's 4 inches, it's 4 inches. All we're going to do is mark the center, okay? So don't get too caught up with my size. But I figure for the center, I wanted to go 50% more across than the width of the moon, okay? So that's 1 inch. That is 1.5 inches. And don't get too fine of a point up here. Keep a 1/4 inch or whatever up here even, because this is all end grain. So we can't hook that over around like some moons. Like you do it with hardwood maybe. But just picture this as your moon. You're trying to get too pointy. And it's just going to snap right off because that end grain, because the grain goes this way. So that end grain is going to be very, very brittle. So don't do that. But like I said, we're just going to mark center on here. So don't worry about if it's exactly 5 inches or whatever. But I just think that 50% bigger than your width for the center of the moon will be great. And before we get to the carving, let's thank our sponsor, which is Wood Carving Illustrated. Wood Carving Illustrated is a magazine about wood carving for wood carvers. Young, old, new, experienced. Fantastic magazine. They've given me a promo code, Linker, all caps, L-A-N-K-E-R. And if you choose to subscribe to the magazine, they'll give you some free little extra download plans and whatnot. So, yeah, let's flip through this really quick. Wood Carving Illustrated, 35 winter projects, Santa 4 ways, paper snowflake from wood, 20-minute whittling project, create a host of easy gifts, art of layered relief carving, fantastic finishes, antiquing, dry brushing, crackle, and more. Oh my goodness. Make a pair of chip carved stockings. Look at that. So anyway, if you or a loved one has an interest in wood carving, this is the magazine for you. So I will put a link in the description. And yeah, it's a fantastic magazine, especially right now. But of course all year round. But real fun magazine. Get you inspired. Get you carving. So there you go. Link in the description. Promo code Linker, all caps, L-A-N-K-E-R. Let's carve a sleeping Santa moon. Look at this presentation, folk. Come on. These are ornament hangers. You can buy them on Amazon for cheap. There's all different styles and whatnot. But anyway, this is what we're going to be making today. Something like that. So I got a piece of wood here. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my knife here, 1 3/4 OCC tool knife. And first things first is we're going to take, I'm going to do one side at a time, but we're going to take all the, I always want to say factory edge. It's not factory edge. All the raw edge off of here so that everything will be carved. And I think I did that in the last video too. I think we'll just do one side and then I'll do the other off camera to speed up the video so as not to bore. Okay, so we just made a knife surface on here. And then what I did was, I'll take a pencil here. And all I did was come in just a whisker. Healthy 8s, 3/16. All right. We need to do that with our pencil. And I should have said too right off the bat is that I did mark center, the center of our thing here. Okay, so we need to mark on center. And you know what? It's a good idea to do that too. Mark center that way. But these ones here, all I'm doing is I'm going to come down, oh, let's say that's 1 3/4 knife, so 1.5 inches or so. And I'm just going to thin that top edge, just like that. All right. And we can, so that would, might as well do this side too, I'll show you. Just so that we can have a little bit of a point to the top there, all right? So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my glove on. This shape seems to be just a real slippery, slick shape. So I'm going to put my glove on here with my little stickies that hold the wood nice. Okay, there, that feels safer already. And like I said, we're just going to give the top 1.5 inches just a little bit of a bevel, just so that the moon is going to have a little bit of a shape to it, all right? But anyway, back to the side. Now that we've done that, all I'm going to do is take the corners off. Now, this is, I remember saying this last time too, this is a experiment in learning your wood grain, okay? Because that was easy to carve this way. This will be easy to carve this way. But now I got to go the opposite way, go up with it, right? You're just fighting the grain. You can go one way, and then you go there, and you're stuck, so you got to go the other way. Work into it, all right? Turn it around, go with the grain. All right, and then we'll just take all those harder edges off, but don't get too caught up because we're going to do a lot of texturing on that wood, so we'll finish her up when we're done. But there's that, and then again here, take her back to bare wood, like so. And I'll do that on the inside as well. Okay, I'll do that on the inside with the exception of this area because this is all going to be done. So, all right. So I'll do the other side and I'll come back with it all looking up to snuff. And the ends I just cut off, break off a piece. All right. Let's just give it a couple facets. Now that was not an easy thing to do. I guarantee you're going to pull a little bit of grain here and there. And when you get into trouble like that, when you're pulling the grain back and forth, just take your knife. You can just kind of pull your knife and slide your way out of it too. So it's just difficult when you're working with the grain. It's just bound to happen, all right? So looking over our piece here, we've got nice facets all the way around. No real hard edges. So okay. We're ready to start. Oh, except for that end. Okay. Center mark. Center mark is just that, it's center. But in this case, I've experimented moving the face up and down and all over, and this seems to give me the best results. Is that nose is going to span that center line, all right? So just like so. So we learned about our tools the other day. So I'm going to start out with a 10mm number 9. And this can be done with a knife. Just got to figure out how. But I like to, in this case, I want to use these tools. So get you guys using some different tools. I'm just going to go right across that top. That'll be my eye line. And then I'm going to go right below the bottom line. All right. You go fairly deep. All right. Okay. Now, when we're talking about our nose, put that back in there like so. Remember what I always say, we can always make the nose smaller, but we can't make it bigger. So I'm going to run up each side of the nose on the edge with my 10mm number 9, just like that. Just just like that. And this is the first of what will be many passes, but I'm going to stick it in this way and come across. Scooping it out. Alright. Do it again, come up. Maybe get a little bit narrower on that top of the nose. Scoop her out. Like that. You can see where the face is, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to soften that top edge. All right. Take that hard edge off the top. I'm going to take my number 10 again. And look how far that eye is set back onto here. We can see that eye already back here. So it may not be your typical face because of such the side view we want, but we're going to keep that eye channel. We're going to make it go right into the side of the moon there, all right? So I'm just going to bring it right around there. Right off the side. Like so. All right. I look at them, always making sure they're fairly symmetrical. All right. And we'll stop there for a little bit, but that's our nice eye sockets really on the side so that we can see that eye nice and clear from the side. Like I said, looks fairly normal, but even if it's not perfectly normal to have the eye over, it's nice to be able to see that eye socket on the side, all right? But anyway, bottom of our nose here, take my knife, go straight down, come up like so, and then just on each side, I'm gonna come up on an angle, take that out. Okay, see that? And we don't need this anymore here, so figure out which way the grain's going. We'll smooth that out. Okay. Now we gotta decide how wide our nose is. That's fairly simple. And with that, I'm just gonna take my knife, I'm gonna stick it right in there, right across the bottom of the nose and the angle, both sides. Where'd it go? That's what I said. It's a slippery piece, so you want to have a glove on, not only for safety, but just to hold on to your piece. All right. So now I'm going to come across here on an angle. All right. See that? I'm going to cut right across, taking that piece out. So, same on this side. And come across. Look at them, make sure they all look even. Good enough for me. Now we'll just bring that angle out here, flatten the bottom of that cheek a little bit, and just come up the side here like so. All right. Someone asked me once how often I strop on these projects, and I don't really ever stop and strop, but for some reason I've done something, and you see little white scratches in there, so that knife needs a strap. But for the purpose of continuing on here, let's just grab another one and go. Okay, so I'm going to round that beard area nice, bring it all together. All right. All right. Then I'm going to bring some of this forehead area down a bit. And I'm going to take my pencil and just for a guesstimate's sake, I'm going to put a line here. That'll be the bottom of our hat, all right? So I'm going to take the same, if I'm looking at it here, if that's up here, I'll bring her down wherever you want, really, but we'll just join it up like that. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to grab a V-tool. I'm just going to run that V-tool around the bottom of that line. It's kind of important to have this kind of set before we get our face all done so that we can work into the hat. You see I'm using that V-tool on the side a little bit too. Remember I talked about having a side chisel? That just helps to cut the wood down. There. Anyway, okay, so now we've got that area there. You can see that big bulbous. We're going to take a little, we'll stick with our 10 mil number 9. I'm just going to run that right up to the hat, right in like that. Pop her out. See that? Now we've separated our future eyebrows. Right. Okay. Now, on our eye sockets, we need the how do I show you this? We need depth in the inside corner of the eye. All right. So we get that by either taking a V-tool or number 11 and just what do I got here? Where are you? Where'd you go? Here, little 4mm number 11. I'm just going to come up beside the nose and down from the top. See that? Can you see how I deepen that? So up beside the nose and then down from the top. It might take a couple passes to get it clean, but that's about it. Take my knife, clean up the side of the nose. And it actually finds a center for you, so there's no question where the center of the eye is. It just works that way when you work from 2 different angles. So, all right, now I want to do the eyes, but it's not quite time because I want to thin the sides of the temple area out. But before I do that, I also want to know where my hair is going to be. So let's say I want my hairline here. I'm going to put my finger on there. I'll just draw that. And I'll do the same thing on both sides. See that? And before we do that, mustache. Santa Claus's mustache always kind of comes up. He's a happy Claus, all right? So we're just going to bring that up into that, past that line a little bit. All right. Do the same on both sides. All right. Put the little, like so. There we drew a little mustache. Make sure it looks the same on both sides. So this is our priority, is getting the mustache raised out in front first. All right. So again, I'm just going to take that, who cares? I'll take the number 11. I'll just go up beside it. All right. All before we pull out our knife. Alright, there you go. Now, I'm going to take my knife, I'm going to deepen that now. I'm not going to put an open mouth, I'm going to kind of hide the mouth in the whiskers. But we still need that little trough there. Alright, and then I'm going to cut up and just cut around. Alright. We're just making that mustache a little bit proud of everything else sticking out, right? Okay, now you can see here, we're going to take that right off of there. Okay. We want that mustache right out. All right, see that? Okay, I will, let's just keep working on this side for now. Because what we're going to do here is I've got this mark here. I'm going to take a little gouge here. And so here's the thing I've been doing. The first one I did was a real distinct cut line for the hairline, and that's fine. But I find if we take a gouge and just kind of go up on that line there and down right into the mustache, we can trim those cheeks into that line, and then when we put our hair, it's going to be a more gradual entrance of the hair off the face. See, just kind of creep onto the skin a little bit, right? See that? That's smooth instead of a harsh line. And again, either way, it doesn't matter. But all right, and then looking straight at him, we got to thin the temple area down. See that? There's a nice angle. Nice. And then we'll take our gouge. Last time, we'll come out to the edge. There we go. All right, I'll do this on this side. Okay, that's where we're at. All right, see that little cheek area there? So we can angle these cheeks off, give them a nice little fatness to them, like so. That was a little bit fatter, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, now let's get these pencil marks off of here. But now we know where the everything is that we can carry on. That nose, take some off the nose. Come down a little bit here. All right. We can come down the side, join up there, come down the side here, come up here. We got that nose angled. Take a little bit more with that gouge. Down. There we go. Round off those eyebrows and just swoop them up. There's going to be some big eyebrows, all right? Okay, let's go ahead and do those eyes. And all they are is going to be just like that. Just a little arch and flared out a little bit high. So again, you can do this with the V tool. I'll start with my 4mm number 11 again. I'm just going to come up. Just come right around. Alright. Come up. And right around. Always have a little stop in mind too for your hand, so that you never can hit a loose spot and shoot off. You always want to just kind of guide it. Don't push. That might give away on you. Alright. Coming back on there. You see that? I'd say they're fairly close. Now, take my knife. I'm just going to round that. Take that hard edge off of there. And if you want to make that, well, you know what? Forget it. Let's just do it. Just do it. If you want to make that a harder edge, you can take a V tool and come around. Make it much more distinct. Alright, with the V tool. Nothing wrong with leaving it the way it was either, but now you just made it a little bit harder edge up in there, which I suppose makes a better show. Alright, pretty straightforward. I'm going to come right off of that cheek a bit. The start of our what do you call them? Crow's feet. Alright. And all we're going to do, get right up in there. I'm just going to come across like that. That's all that is. Look at them, make sure they're somewhat the same. Little V tool undercut. Yeah. There he is. He's sleeping. Instantly sleeping. Alright. Got some pencil lines on there still. But now, if we want to do one more thing, we can just give him a little bag under the eye. Yeah, just a little bag. My goodness. Hold on to it, Dougie. Clean her all up nice. The edges of your nose. Make everything pretty. Alright, let's look at our nose still. Nose is well, a little wonky on that side, so let's try and even her out. Alright. I'm going to come right down like that. I'm going to give it a little extra little sliver of wood out of there. So what you don't realize is, look at your face, and you'll notice your nostril flares are actually set into your face. The whole nose is not on top of your face, so we get that right down in there like that. Add a little bit extra, but we're not going to get carried away with the nose too much. Just going to round that off. Take the point off the nose. You know, that's a nose. That's a nose. We don't have to get too realistic. No sense in cutting in nostrils or anything. That's good enough, right? Except for the fact that that's a little bit wider. So I'm going to scooch that over. Cut a little bit more off. Try and make her look the same, right? All right, there's where we're at. So we're getting there. All we gotta do now is, if we want to put a fur trim on the hat, just draw a line around there. And you can see I'm not measuring anything. This is just all eyeball. Doesn't matter. And I'm gonna take my V tool again. I'm gonna use it on the side, like that. I should have sharpened my tools before I started because there's a little white line on the side of that V tool too. Needs a good stropping. Before you ask me how I do that, there's a couple of videos. Actually, going forward, hopefully, if you go back in my videos, all of your questions will be answered somewhere. I've been noticing that lately. I get a lot of the same questions, and that's why I made those last 2 videos, just to help answer some questions, because there's videos, but you just have to go back a little ways and find them. You can see I'm just taking that edge off, making that fur stick out a little bit, right? Okay. Here, I want to show you something too. One of the worst area, I just glanced over it when I did that, was I just carved across here like this. The worst thing that I have to do is to cut down on end grain. You're always going to break it, and I just habitually just kind of came across like this. But you'll find if you start coming like this to cut down, it's just going to be layer after layer of grain that you're going to pull. So watch that. And there again, I keep pulling grain like that. So now I'm just going to take my knife. I'm going to just kind of slide my knife a little bit. Pull until I'm happy. But like I said, this project tackles every direction of the grain imaginable. So it's good practice. There, we made some fur, and then if we want a ball, obviously we have a ball on all those, so I guess we might as well just go ahead and cut one in here. I don't want to make a ball a real round ball. I want to keep that somewhat matching the bottom. So I'm just making a funny shape. All right. Now, it doesn't always have to be like a textured ball like these ones. You can make like little tassel like on that one. Okay. All right, we're getting there. What do you want to do now? We can let's just do the hair on one half, and then I'll come back because it's a lot. So I got a little tiny bead tool here, and the hair, or the start up here, I'll draw it on here. I want eyelashes to kind of go like that. If you look in the mirror, eyelashes almost lay flat across this way, but this gives us a little bit more bang for the buck and a little bit more boldness. So I always just go down one way, like so. And again, the number 11s and the V tools, especially in this kind of stuff, they're almost interchangeable. Either you get a little sharp edge like that, or you get a little bit rounder edge. But now I'm going to go from here. I'm going to come down into the eye. And again, that softens that hard edge that we have over here. But it gives them a nice, big, bushy eyebrow. All right. Look at that. All right. So same thing here. On the mustache, since we're coming from way over here too, so we're just going to kind of go like this, working our way around, and then right about here we got to start leaving some, keep coming, going up. All right. So I'm going to switch over to the number 11. So I'm always aiming back for the nose. All right. And a little bit out, a little bit up, and coming up to that edge. Oh, I broke it. See that? Broke that off. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Right. Nobody wouldn't be the wiser. So we don't have to stress. But I will go this way this time instead of pushing it out. Right. I should do a video on hair sometime, just because there's so many more things that we could do to this right now, like putting little cuts in here and making it a little more jagged, for instance, little cuts like that. But for the sake of video, I'm not going to do that too much, but just to give you one, I guess. All right. Now, oh, here we go. See, I'm just going to get carried away here. Since we used a V tool, or whatever we used, a number 11, outlining that mustache, we can do that. Had we just taken our knife and just stuck our knife in and outlined that mustache, we couldn't do this because those lines would have cuts right across. So that's one good thing about that. All right. So there's that. And then you can see I've been experimenting with hairlines. See this, how this is all one level here? On this one here, I experimented and I made a little stop for the actual hair. So you can see the difference from the beard to the hair. I don't think anyone's going to thank you for doing it or not, but if you wanted to, all that is kind of guess where the hair would be. Put a little cut, right? Come up like so. And there we've separated. We want to angle it all back a bit. A little bit more. So we've separated the hair from the beard. And that's all that is. But all I'm going to do for the hair and the beard, I'll draw lines again. Draw lots of lines. I'm just going to come like so. All right, with a bigger, what are we going to do? Let's start with a U-gouge, 10 mil. All right. We're going to create some depth first. All right. You can see there, I'm not taking the whole line. I'm going to come back the other way and work my way up. It's not always one pass. Come back up, give it a turn. Whenever we can turn our hair is a good idea. We don't want all straight hair. All right. My knife, cut it out. Okay, so that's the big ones. Now, what do we want to do now? Let's take a smaller, take a half of that. It's a 5 mil. I can go in the bottom of that, deepen it up, or I can come over these bare spots, start making new ones. All right, see that? Just like that. Sometimes if I want to dig a little bit deeper, I can do that. I can take a V tool even and follow some of those lines. Really deepen that in, just little pools here and there, little deeper spots. Always coming back with my knife, cutting up to the mustache. All right. I mean, that's might as well be done right there, but if I really wanted to, I can take my knife too and just make a couple little haircuts like that. Take a real sharp little V out, and these ones always pop the most. See that? That's the boldest of them all. So just wherever you want some extra depth. All right. We should probably stop there, but see that? So there you go. And if you want to take a smaller V tool, then you can go over it again. It all depends, but multiple gouges or V tools or whatever seems to make the nicest beard texture rather than just using one alone. All right. All right, and that matches the hair. We'll do the hair the same way, but let me go ahead and do all that, and then we'll come back and we'll look at the hat. All right. All right, so looking pretty good. We got, see how the hair, see what I'm talking about with the hair, just there's no cut line, it's just a nice smooth transition into the hair. All right, kind of like that. But again, don't matter if you have to make a sharp edge too, that's fine. One thing I didn't mention too was when I did the hair, I did not do the bottom of the beard. I suppose you could do the bottom tip, but I'm just kind of showing that there is no back on the beard, I guess. All right, so anyway, the hat. That hat is bent forward. Obviously, that means that there's going to definitely be some wrinklage in here. So I'm gonna take a big V tool, give a couple wrinkles in there. Maybe not trying to be too even. Just gonna mix it up a little bit. Take my knife and change them a little bit. All right. There. Now we know. You can see that? Now that makes sense, right? Just to have some wrinkles and folds in that hat when it's leaning one way. There are no wrinkle pleats, so you do whatever you want. I'm not sure that's a little bit harsh, but anyway, that's the idea there. Now, what we're going to do is our trim, our fur. Now, we can do lots of different things. Like, if I have a, well, let's start with a V tool. I can take a V tool and go like that. All right. That's kind of a fur. What else we got here? Number green, a green, number 4, 11, and a green. Same idea. That's kind of furish. Number 5. 5 mil number 9. Is a nice pattern. All right. Or we can just go across in one fell swoop in the middle. And I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to take my big gouge. I'm just going to go around like that. See that? I like that. It's simple. It's clean. Not too busy. The hair is quite busy. Did I do one? Yeah, I did this one. See that one? That's what that is. Right? There we go. I dig it. And the top, we'll just put some few little divots. All right. You get the idea, right? A little pom-pom. All right, little pom-pom. So, you can go around. Now you can go around and clean it all up. Make sure, we can always say, shadows are your friends. So if you want to put thin little cuts around everything, like that, this looks so much nicer, right? Same as a hat. So, are we missing anything? Yeah, we said we weren't going to do nostrils, so we won't do nostrils. Oh, let's give them a couple extra crow's feet here. Give them some age. Right. You can do that with a V tool too. Yeah. So, as far as your traditional face, it's not quite. It's a little exaggerated because we're really focusing on that side view too. But I think overall it looks pretty good. So I'm going to put some oil on it, and let's just call her done. If you want to take a little swipe of sandpaper or something, if it's a little fuzzy, you can do that too. But I used to always spray oil on these, and then everybody say, "What are you spraying? What are you spraying?" So I'm going to oil it anyway, so why not do it right now? And then it just highlights all the cuts and all the shadows and gives you a real sense of what you've made, right? And this camera battery is going to make me change it right now at the end of the video. All right, there we go. It was a little bit rushed, but I think we got it all right. I don't know, I really like this project. It's just something a little bit different than your standard old Santa face, right? Put a little ring, little hook in it. That would normally be, you know, if you put the ball on there, just a ½ inch behind the ball or so. Put a little hook on there, you know. I just did a painting video on tips on painting, so you can paint it up, do some nice dry brushing and whatever you want. But yeah, hope you like it. Fun little project, and hang it on the tree. Get yourself these little hangers. They're cheap enough on eBay, or not eBay, Etsy. What am I saying? Amazon? You know, one of those. And just hang it on the table. It looks great. So that is our project. And don't forget, Wood Carving Illustrated. Link in the description. Promo code LINKER, all caps, LANKER. This is the time of year. Get a subscription for your loved one, friend, or someone you just want to carve with. Full of inspiration and plans, and great magazine. Carve a little Crescent sleeping Santa. And I will catch you on the next one, where I hope to do a 1x1 or something. So, all right. Take her easy. See ya.